I'm James. Welcome to Ben Huon Manor. The place is basically a styling from 1790 through to around about 1820. It's Georgian in its styling, but also with a Gothic overlay. This type of building for Australia would be very rare to find anything like this. There are some parts like the Sydney Uni, but here at Ben Huon Manor, what we wanted to create is a lovely opportunity for people to be able to step away from their busy lives, come down to the country, especially in the Southern Highlands, and have a moment where they feel like they've almost crossed a timeline. We both really loved this Georgian period, and so for us it came about also a little bit by purchasing the land and then seeing what kind of architecture would fit beautifully onto this property. And so that's where we went back through and looked at a lot of English homes, especially in the Cotswolds. And straight away, we had that connection where we thought, yes, it's a Cotswold, Gothic, Georgian take on that style we want to do. I want people to experience something that they wouldn't normally go out of their way to be able to do, or be able to step away from their busy lives. So here, I want them to feel like they've crossed a timeline. I want them to feel as though they have just popped down 2 hours drive from Sydney and landed in the countryside of England. And so when they come into the place, they feel embraced by all of those beautiful English details of oak panelling, a formal dinner, a beautiful candelabra.
I think people are searching for unique experiences, and
absolutely,
everything's so homogenized. You don't get that thing that you want to tell 10 people about it, because it was just, I didn't expect it, I didn't know that I would get that, and it's really impacted me.
It's more an experience that I had during the crafting, and that would be that the staircase, my father and I put in around about 500 man-hours into building the staircase.
Right.
And to have that as an experience that you keep for the rest of your life, that you spent that time solely with your father, was a really special moment. And we actually did it from a tiny little joinery and carpentry book, and it's probably from around about 1910 or 1920. And we followed the details inside of exactly how they did it back then, and we replicated that onto this staircase.
That's incredible. Did you have the book first, or did you go sourcing a book to give you inspiration?
I had the book.
Wow.
Because I've been in cabinet making, I had a great interest in the early carpentry in that. And it's because it wasn't about doing something that was the fastest that made the profit. That's what our world is now.
Mm-hmm.
This was about getting the best joint, the best result. The way in which they wedge it in underneath, it prevents it from creaking. We tend to be of a generation where everything is just so done en masse. It's all done en masse for the profit margins that people are making and to provide things quickly for the needs of people. I think with interiors and trying to create something that has a little bit more of a depth, interest, intrigue, it engages people, I think really you have to go back to places that are antique, secondhand, vintage. You've got to go and find something that's been imported from a more boutique manufacturer that may just be someone who does the most beautiful woven baskets. What I'm saying is look for things that already have a uniqueness about them. It is the most important. I mean, I have a lot of tribal things that I keep into one room, whether it's some beautiful old axe heads that I purchased at auction. I love auction rooms. There's another great place is go have a look at your local auctions. Find out what a clearance sale is. Pick up something that may have been from 2 generations ago and you get all the history that goes with it, the pre-loved character that is in something that you look at, and whether it's a piece of leather or something, and you touch this thing and you just think, oh my goodness me, that leather book, it just felt so beautiful because so many have handled it and touched it before, and it has a difference. So that would be my biggest secret, is estate sales, auction rooms, antique shops, vintage shops. Go find yourself something different. I love being able to, one, give people an emotional response to their surroundings. You can gain a greater emotional response if you engage in the interior and style, creating a theatre. So for here, I will put all of this aside and I'll use it just as a desk. And I'll sit here and I'm just, probably got my laptop here and I'm doing emails and so forth. But when I finish, I then put everything back here because I want people to come round the corner and I want them to think, oh my goodness, that is just so beautiful. Where is this? And this is a beautiful handwritten piece of script, and it's French, but it is handwritten. And you just look at just the style of the writing is theatrical, let alone, you've got a little bundle of these letters here. I've got a beautiful indentureship that, when someone actually was going to have an apprenticeship, this indenture was beautifully written out. It was a very important thing. A lovely little leather scroll where perhaps a piece of loved music was always kept in. These things, you layer them all up together and all of a sudden again, yes, it is theatrical. I mean, the little candle shelves that pull out and things like that. It gives me a sense of I'm entertained. I'm entertained by the beauty around me, and it gives me just a sense of contentment. I absolutely love feeling comfortable and entertained within a space that's visually pleasing. You could have a laminated white desk sitting here. You could, with a printer on it. It just gives you nothing. It gives you nothing but practicality. Time and time again, here I am going back to, if it's food, I want to eat it with my eyes first. If it's interiors, I want to experience the contentment and joy of beauty before it becomes, yes, a practical space to put my laptop and go through my emails. My mother was someone who was definitely someone who entertained beautifully. My father was a very, very engaging host. He always made it a point of importance to make sure that everyone was involved in conversation, everyone was engaged in enjoying the meal. So from both of those as a small child, I really learnt that sense of generosity of spirit. Then I met Sandy and my wife, and I would have to say that Sandy, in all of her business endeavours as well, Sandy was a hairdresser, nobody went to that salon that didn't feel like they were the only person there. If someone comes here, I want them to feel that you can burn wood all night if you want to. We've got it turned on. If we're doing a cheese board and you're wanting to have wine and a cheese board, that there is some beautiful cheeses that we've purposely selected that are giving people something to talk about, something to experience that they hadn't experienced. If we're doing a dinner, then, I really want for people to go away feeling that the first thing that they really think about when they leave here is coming back. And so that's part of that generosity of spirit.
James, I just want to say thank you so much. I've had the most beautiful stay. If you'd like to come and experience Ben Huon Manor for yourself, we have all the details in the description box below.
It's been a real pleasure having you, Suzie. Thank you.
Thank you.